Yo.
What up? What up?
Ooh, what's poppin'? What's going on, man?
Episode 154, baby. We back. Welcome back, everybody, to the Carpet Footprint Podcast. He is Juan and I'm Sean, and every week we get together, have a few drinks, talk about things going on in the world, try to focus on things making an impact, whether they be good, bad, or otherwise. Hit him with the drink of the day.
Yo, man, this week we got something from a listener this week, man, who I'm pretty sure is trying to kill me. Anytime you get vodka, high fructose corn syrup, you know, it's gonna be rough, but it's delicious, man. Shout out to David, man. We got a drink here called the WTF. So it's a shot of vodka. We did some tropical. Well, actually, we did some passion fruit juice. So splash of vodka, passion fruit juice, squeezing a lime wedge. And
lemon.
Lemon. I knew I was gonna fuck that up too, man. Lemon wedge. So vodka, passion fruit juice, squeezing the lemon wedge, and then a little splash of the cran pomegranate to top it off. And this is delicious, man. It's good.
And what's the guy's name?
David, man.
David, shout out to you.
Shout out David, man.
We did fuck with your recipe a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's my fault. I went and bought some slightly different variations of juices.
Yeah, man, you gotta let Sean cook. You don't tell Jordan how to shoot.
But no, this is really good. And then we use what is this vodka? This ocean vodka.
Oh, slaps, bro.
Yeah, organic vodka.
So good.
It's pretty good. It's a really cool fucking bottle. If you're watching the video, you can see it on there. It's like a blue ball. It's funny, man. As you pour it, I can see if you're getting fucked up as you're drinking this, somebody's gonna tip this thing over.
Oh, absolutely.
Right? When you go to put it down,
every single time, bro.
It's like a ball, but it has like a flat portion to it. So if you don't get it on that, the thing will roll around.
Oh, absolutely, bro. There was a bottle once. I think it was a tequila bottle. Maybe even you gave it to me. They had like a weird sideways thing like that, and I would drop that shit all the time on the counter, like all the time. I was like, damn. And this has one of those like odd shit. Like you said, the more fucked up you get, the more likely you are to drop this thing for sure. But dude, this tastes great. Never seen it. It's like a good looking bottle. It's a smooth vodka. Yeah, man. We'll see how we wake up tomorrow. But this so far so good.
So far so good. That's
so far so good. And then the cran pomegranate, which, bro, cran juice might be the sluttiest juice of all time. That shit mixes with everything, bro. Cran be cran mango, cran kiwi, cran carrot.
Ocean Spray got it going on.
Cran don't give a fuck, bro. Ocean Spray, that shit is the Nick Cannon of juices. That shit just be making whatever fucking combination it wants to, bro.
Every time I go to the store, I got a new kid.
That shit is Elon / Nick / Antonio Cromartie. That shit is everywhere, bro. I'm like, Cran don't give a fuck, bro. That is awesome, man. This shit's good, though.
Yeah, bro.
I like this show. Shout out David, yo, man. Me and David grew up in Jersey together, man. Went to middle school together, so.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
It's always good to keep in contact, man, with some of your childhood
Yeah,
friends.
man. It's awesome.
All right, man. Yo, my Carpet Footprint of the week is going out to some Stanford University students. I do not have names, but these guys and girls developed glasses that transcribe speech in real time for deaf people. So if you can think about if you remember the Google Glass, that I think that thing kind of died. But essentially, is these glasses, you put them on, and then within the glasses, there's essentially like a screen in the glasses, and as the person you're talking to is speaking to you or speaking to the person with the glasses on, the glasses in real time is showing the words of what they're saying. So they're calling this thing transcribe glass.
And it's using AI, right?
It's using AI.
It's using AI.
And it has the ability to toggle between multiple languages. Again, the words appear in the glass for the user.
It's almost projected the way it looks because it's not silly looking.
Yeah,
it like
right.
looks like,
No,
and you know they're gonna get better
legit.
over time, even. But it looks legit, like you said. It's like a clear glasses.
Yep.
So I could be looking at you, and it looks like I'm wearing a pair of eyeglasses. It doesn't look like something weird, but it's literally just projects like the words, right? Like the
right on your glass.
Right
Yep.
on the glass. It's so dope, man.
Yeah, and the best thing about it is the battery life is for a full day.
Oh shit!
So you put it on in the morning, and you're good to go for the whole day. You come back, you charge it up, and you're good to go for the next day.
Dude, imagine if you can't hear, and then that's like Yeah, or just having a conversation, right? Like you limit yourself so much with conversations if you're someone who's like hearing impaired.
Yeah.
To do this, like you can, it opens up, like so many opportunities.
Oh my God, bro, dude! And you see some of the like the lot of deaf. I shouldn't say a lot. I've seen deaf folks that can read lips, which I think is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do you do when you get somebody that mumbles?
They just move lips and shorter.
Yo, remember the dude from? Remember the guy from fucking WWF, the announcer, the ringside announcer?
Jim Ross.
Is that who it is?
Slapper knocker.
The one that be like, but when he talks, he's really excitable. But when you see his mouth moving, he's like this.
Yeah, it doesn't. He always looked like he got a toothpick in, even though I think it's Jim Ross. Wait, is it? I think it's Jim Ross.
Let me see, because
it was Jerry the King Lawler.
Yeah, that's not it.
And then Jim Ross, the one always had a cowboy hat on.
That's got to be the one.
Yeah. It's got to be him, bro.
Yes, that guy. If you ever see him talk, you watch his mouth. He was a great announcer, by the way.
He was awesome, yeah.
But when I ever saw him talk, I was like, man, like the dude's mouth does not.
Oh no! He'd be like, we gotta slap your voice. On the second over the top rope. Just be saying like some Popeye shit.
So somebody reading lips on Jim Ross, man, they all fucked up.
He'd be like, I think he said grrr.
Over and over and over. What's wrong with
really
this guy?
upset. I think he's at AEW now, that guy.
Oh, really?
He was beefing hard with WWE, and I think he's part of this whole AEW. Like,
they've been taking off. I don't know what their financials are or anything, man,
no,
but they've been doing well.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it looks like, like I said, I don't know how they're doing financially, but they've been like, seems like they're doing well, man.
Yeah.
Who knows? Like a matter of time before they get like bought out or something like that.
By WWE.
By WWE. I just want to just wait to happen to all these like organizations. Like, they'll get bought out by WWE. But
the WWE, are they up for sale? I feel like I saw that.
They sold.
They did sell.
The owners of the, I can't think of the name of it right now, but basically UFC, the same company that owns the UFC now.
That's what it is.
Yeah. So I think it was like a $4 billion transaction. I'm like, whew,
good for Vince.
Good, yeah. And he's still on as whatever the
president or
there's
whatever
something. Yeah, he took a step away because remember he was getting
with the whole the whole Me Too shit.
Yeah, he Me Too'd a lot of people. I guess. Oh no, you know what it was? There was a lot of payouts to people that he was Me Too'ing. There was a lot.
He got trumped.
Yeah, exactly. So there was a lot of shit coming out about how many people he paid out, and I think it was part of the transaction to ask him to step away while they kind of did. Which he'll be back.
Yeah,
oh, if he's not already.
I think he's already back.
Yeah, he probably is, man. Yeah.
But yeah, man. So shout out to the Stanford University students. I think that's an amazing piece of technology that's going to help out some people and try to bridge the gap, with communication, right? Like somebody that's deaf, if you don't know sign language, or the person can't read lips, then you're stuck. But in this scenario, which I was thinking, I'm like, how are you taught to read? How are you taught to read words?
Oh,
and then what they mean?
Oh, that's a good question. Because there's some deaf people who haven't always been deaf.
Yeah, but what if you've always been deaf?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess you just look at sight, really.
I guess it's just different ways to do it, right? You just go like, I don't know, whatever, fire, and you fucking show them fire.
Right.
But do
they even know what that sounds like? You know what I mean?
What is the meaning of it?
But I think they know the meaning. I think where they'll have a hard time is like they don't know what the word would sound like enunciated. I think, right? If you're deaf, because what you would
But
have
I guess
is
you could look at the word, and then if you can make the association to what it is.
Right.
But when you speak in full sentences, then how does that work? How do they teach that? It's always fascinating to me, man. Like you think about like the story of Helen Keller, who was deaf and mute.
Yeah.
Right, deaf, blind, and mute. Right? Wasn't she all three?
She was all of them, bro.
Yeah. She just had a fuck. Did that?
God hated
somebody
her.
Else.
I'm like, God damn, bro.
He's like, I'm gonna put you down there just so you can show them it can be done. God damn it. Oh, wait a minute! I just cursed myself.
Show them you can be. Yo, you know how fucked up you gotta be? Like, you can't give me 1 cent, bro. Can I smell? Do we know if she can smell? I'll be like, damn, dog. Yo, that you got to think that's wild. You can't make an association to sounds. You can't make an association to feelings, right? To sights, and
I guess to touch you can, right? I guess you just your other senses get sort of hyper.
But then how do you explain to someone what it is? How does everything not just freak you the fuck out? Like you can't see, hear,
right?
You know what I mean? Like that's crazy.
Well, I've seen like in the movies about Helen Keller, it's like the person that actually the teacher that kind of got through to her would do almost like a sign language kind of in her hand, and let's just say it was water, and would literally like stick her hand in water and then like spell it out on her hand like WATER.
Oh,
and it's like fucking put it back in that water, and it's like WATER, you know, like that. Yeah, because
but then how do you know that's water? You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you would pronounce?
Well, for her, she can't use the glasses.
You just know it's WAT. Yeah, she can't.
Yeah. She needs something else. She needs the next level shit.
That's the next iteration. We got the Helen Kellers coming out soon,
that's right.
bro. Yeah, because you figure the next iteration of these glasses, they'll be able to translate. Like maybe they'll go to normal folks like us, where we can go to a foreign country and it'll translate into our language.
Absolutely,
you know, like that's definitely gonna happen. And then you figure, then the Helen Keller edition will be like when the Terminators take over. It'll be like, if you can't see, hear, smell, touch, these glasses got you on that.
Yeah, they hook into the chip that Elon put in your brain.
Mm-hmm. That's what Helen Keller needs. I think these movies is bullshitting on Helen Keller because the like you said, the way they show that the teachers taught them, it's like, that whole thing just fascinates me, bro. Because how you don't have a concept of anything, of a sound,
right,
of a spelling. What's a letter? You know what I'm saying? Like that whole thing is just like, I don't know. Like, and there's also, I feel like it's overcomplicated. You splash my hand in water, and then you got to sit there and spell it over and over again. Bitch, can you poke me once? That's water. If I poke you twice, it's fire. Put you next to some heat. Like, what else do you need to know?
Yeah, but then after that, it'd be like, what's 15 pokes?
Nah, bro. What do you need to tell them? They can't talk. They can't think. It'd be like, bro, if I poke you twice, there's a fire, bitch, run.
You got water and fire. That's it.
If I poke you once, stop poking. You're going towards water. After that, bro. Yo, you think about how you spend your time as someone like that? Dude, every single modern, or not even modern, every single convenience or part of a human is taken away from you, right? Like, you can't read books. You can't listen to music. You can't take in a piece of art.
No, but then Braille. Right? She reads Braille books.
Yeah, but how do you know what you're reading if you don't know what it ever sounded like, or you don't know what it looked like? You don't know
teachers come in, right? Because so when you think about sight, like we all see basically the same, right? Mm-hmm. But sight is just kind of like light coming into your eyes, and then how like color, for instance, right? Like it's just a spectrum of light. But I imagine if you're blind, when you touch something, then your brain is making a visualization of it. So, right, if you say like, I don't know, fucking plant.
No, I hear what you're saying, but I think in my mind, I guess how I'm thinking about it is, what if I've never seen that?
You don't have
what
to
if
see
I don't
it.
know what it
Because
sounds like?
Because your brain.
Well, it's making up, I guess, its own concept.
It makes its
of
own.
What that looks
Right.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Hey, man, we got people that fucking see other people that are not there.
This is true.
You know
bro.
what I'm saying? And they can see.
What if? Yeah, this is true, bro.
So the brain is like a crazy place,
yeah, just
man.
make its own image of what it is, of what it thinks. But I guess my thought there is like, how do you create an image if your brain's never taken any in? You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess that's like, does it work that way? Because it's never. How do you conceptualize something that you don't even know what that is, right? Like, I'm assuming that you've seen a cup, and then your brain would be able to make up its own iteration of a cup,
right.
But you don't even have an understanding of what that is, of what that looks like, of what.
No,
like,
but I would imagine, man, because you've seen movies with like blind people, and then like they meet somebody, and they might touch their face and kind of see what it is. There has to be something that's happening in their brain where they're going. This person
mapping out like
is sort of like visually pleasing, right? But not visually.
Can you imagine a blind person touching you and they're like,
yeah, right. You're like, no, next. He's nice, but
that's got to
next.
do a wonder for your self-esteem.
You're like, even the blind bitch didn't want you.
Your personality couldn't even overcome that.
Shit. All right, man. What you got?
Yo, dude, I can't remember if we talked about this last week at all, but I'm giving that shit to Taylor Swift, bro. Tay out here doing big things, bro, to the point where the government has said that she has been responsible, I guess, for they're saying for sort of a little bit of the bounce back in the economy.
Really?
Yeah, because of her concert, people are obviously spending outrageous amounts of money for the tickets.
Okay.
But they're also traveling.
Yep.
They're buying food, they're buying hotel rooms, they're buying flights, they're buying bus tickets, or whatever. So, and it's funny, man. I know a lot of people who've been traveling to go see Taylor Swift and do it.
Really?
And then so they're like that, and people are buying merch and that stuff. So they're like, yo, she has single-handedly boosted economies in certain cities across America.
Wow.
And like to the point the government's giving her like credit for this. Like so that, man, I just
So does she get like a massive tax break?
you would hope so, right? Like fuck,
like,
dude.
no.
Dude, she's done, and her show in, I think it was the one in Seattle, registered as an earthquake. That's how ridiculously loud it got
Get the
inside of her
fuck outta
show.
here.
Like
Wow.
nuts. And then I saw this week too, obviously super successful tour, probably going to be the most financially successful tour of all time.
Okay.
And she was giving out crazy bonuses to people on her team or who helped. Like I saw she gave 50 drivers who are the ones responsible for trucking her stuff from show to show, $100K each driver to 50 drivers.
Wow.
As a bonus. And then they're saying that she's given upwards of probably $50 million in bonuses when it's all said and done, because she's been giving bonuses to caterers. She's been giving bonuses to like stagehands and pretty much anybody who's working on her show to some capacity. They're saying that she's been throwing out hella bonuses, and I think she's getting ready to wrap
amazing,
up.
Bro.
Yeah, man. So I'm like, yo, shout out to her, dude. Like, not, again, having that impact, obviously nobody sets out to be like, yeah, I want to help economies, but it just goes to show, man, there's like very few individuals in life that have that kind of, I think we were having this conversation where I'm like, dude, what was the last person that had this level of fame as a pop star?
Michael Jackson?
That's the only person I can compare it to, dude. Like I go like, Beyonce's famous. I don't think Beyonce is that Taylor
level.
Swift level famous. Like this, this is like, I couldn't think of anybody other than Michael Jackson that could do that. I know Beyonce sells stadiums and stuff, but it just this level of, I don't know, man. I feel like there's just another echelon here.
Yeah.
Like I can't quite put it into words, but it just feels like something different. And I'm like, I've never seen anything like it, aside from Michael Jackson. Like, it's
and what's funny, man, is like, I mean, obviously Taylor Swift's been around for quite some time now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I can name any of her music.
Oh, you sleeping on Taylor?
Yeah. I'm sure I am.
Sleeping on Taylor, man.
But definitely, have seen over the years her level of fame.
Yeah.
And to think about this, to be boosting economies, and then, giving back to the people that's also that's sort of part of making this thing happen. Obviously, she's the talent.
Yeah.
But there's a lot good that goes into those shows.
Exactly.
Could you imagine being now there are people that get $100,000 bonuses. That doesn't happen to most of us. However, could you imagine being a driver and getting that, bro?
Getting your annual salary probably and a bonus.
Yeah.
For some,
maybe more.
Maybe more. Yeah. You're right. Maybe more.
Yeah.
And then you're like doing that, man. And I think, listen, whatever you think about her aside, in terms of like the music's not for everybody, and there's always like the personal stuff that people get into, but there's no denying, man, the talent, and then to have this level of generosity to sort of pay that back, because everyone is capable in their own way of doing something like this. It doesn't always necessarily happen, nor should you. I don't know that you should tell people what to do with their money, but I think just the recognition of, like to your point, yes, I'm the talent, but this doesn't happen without these guys. Sleepless days, away from their family. Like just being, I guess, aware enough of that situation. There's very few people that have like that sort of awareness or that in touch with what's going on. And I'm sure she is. She knows that these people who travel with her, who help her, behind the scenes, are spending weeks, months, whatever, away from their families. They're, probably losing sleep or working long days and doing that whole night. And, I think just to pay her success forward is cool. Also, just to, we always talk about with things making an impact. It's like, man, you're impacting an economy, you're impacting people's emotions. Everybody knows what music does folks, and then just in every capacity, I think she's sort of making an impact, good, bad, or otherwise, right? No matter how you feel about her, like she's undeniable at the time, man. Like there's just
and I haven't seen anything from her from a negative standpoint. I'm sure there are some.
No, I think it's the knock on her
whatever,
dating
man.
life is always a thing where you're just kind of like, whatever, bro. If it was a guy, we wouldn't give a fuck. Yeah. Like I think for her, there always comes up like,
well, because she's not like settling down.
Well, no, not like I think it's part of that, and then part of that her songs then end up being like whoever like the latest dude she dated, and obviously very high profile, everything. But I go again, if it was a dude, we wouldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like so, I go.
Didn't fucking Adele do that
Pete
shit too?
Davidson, bro.
Didn't Adele write about somebody who fucking broke her heart?
Yeah,
too?
I think she wrote about a whole divorce. Yeah. So
like,
yeah, man, I don't give a fuck about all that stuff with her, man. I'm like, dude, undeniably talented. And we haven't even discussed about how she's made a change, and she started off as a country singer and then decided I want to be a pop star. Yeah, and then made a shift to pop star. Like she started off with an acoustic guitar, singing songs that she wrote and doing stuff, and then she went to pop star level. Britney Spears, Lady Gaga, Madonna times 5, bro. 10.
Yeah, bro.
It's insane, bro. The level of
dude, how crazy is it now to think of like the way that her stardom is, and to think back to when she had the award, and then Kanye fucking
oh my god
rushed the stage and was like, "I'm gonna give you your moment," but
dude, and is that part of it? Does that endear her with people?
Dude,
because you have this empathy for her.
If you even remotely liked her then you were like, oh my god, like this guy's an asshole. She's awesome.
And then all these people throw this support behind her. But I also think like you could do that for a moment. The work that you put out then has to speak for itself to keep you there. And I think that's where what's been impressive about her is that she's continued to put out bodies of work that makes grown women cry. Like you see women at her concerts and shit.
Really?
And like, bro, I scroll through social media. I'm surprised at a Taylor Swift show because I feel like my whole feed is full of women going to Taylor Swift shows, singing along, crying and shit. And I'm like, and I think now she's crossing into this generation where if you're in your 20s or maybe even 30s, you had a moment with Taylor Swift, maybe in your late teens, early 20s, and now you have kids who are having moments with Taylor Swift.
Ooh, that's true.
Yeah, it's just like my daughter isn't girly at all. My daughter loves Taylor Swift.
Really?
Yeah, my daughter likes rock and just getting into hip hop, and then she's one of these like I don't like wearing pink and stuff, but loves Taylor Swift.
Wow.
Like she doesn't even consider Taylor Swift to be girly. I think Taylor Swift sort of speaks to all of them. It speaks to like the edginess, does speak to being girly, does speak to, like almost like every sort of like demographic of girl. It's like she just transcends like every sort of clique, I guess.
Dude, that's like I said, good for her, man. And like you said, it's that the talent and then the ability to put on a good show.
Yeah.
Will carry her, until she doesn't feel like doing this anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, man. So good for her, man. Shout out to her.
Dude, did you see fucking Cardi B this week?
I did, bro. I love Cardi B's level of ratchet, bro. I just got to throw that out there for you.
She ratchet with money.
Yep. Every time I look at Cardi B just twerking in a thong on IG. I'm like, never change, Cardi.
So those of you who did not see, Cardi B was performing in Vegas, and a fan threw like a drink, and it was a woman, threw like a drink on her. It looked like water. I don't know what it was.
But she was asking him to throw water at her.
That's kind of the deal, right? So what you see in the video is she's performing, and then the woman throws like almost like a full fucking cup.
It just throws it at her,
and I think it hits her in the face.
Yeah,
and it pisses her off.
But earlier, a bunch of people are throwing like splashing water at her because she asked.
Yes,
I think I know what happened.
Okay.
Somebody was spelling it into the girl's hand of what Cardi said to do. She got the memo late.
What's her name, Helen? Hey, you ain't right, man. And then you drag me down with you.
I'll save you a seat.
But yeah, so it shows like this woman throws this full cup of fucking water, hits her partially in the face, and then she just does like, how people got a switch, the fucking switch flips, man, and she fucking stares at this chick in the and it's actually like she's on stage and the person's on like the floor.
Yeah.
And she just fucking takes the mic, bro, and just wails it at this chick.
She doesn't hold
Like,
back.
you know, she's like, I'm trying to throw this shit at you, hit you right in the head.
She wound up, but she was pitching for the Yankees, dog.
She was looking like El Duque in that motherfucker.
At least there's a picture from New York doing something. Damn it! Oh my god, bro.
But dude, as I read about this, and you're right. So apparently earlier in the show, she was like, "Oh yeah, like throw water up at me,
It's hot as
like
fuck
kinda,
or
yeah, it's
something,
hot, like while I twerk." And then she turned around and people was kind of throwing up drinks. But this was like in the middle of like one of her songs. Which it was the what is it, the Bodak Yellow?
Was it that one? I didn't see the like a
What's
a
that
video
one
with
called?
sound. I think it's called Bodak Yellow.
It's Bodak Yellow, right?
Yeah, it's Bodak Yellow.
Yeah. So she was doing that one, and yeah, the fucking water hit her in the face, and she got pissed. But dude, so as I'm reading this, man, the article actually went into like artists, I guess, recently have been having similar shit happen.
Oh,
to them.
a lot of people just been getting froggy with artists, bro. Yeah.
So I read a couple of them, and it was like Harry Styles got something thrown, hit him in the fucking eye.
Oh shit.
BB Rexa got a cell phone thrown at her, hit her in the face, like gave her like a fucking black eye.
Oh damn.
This one is crazy. Pink had somebody throw up their mom's ashes.
Wait, in something or just ashes?
I think it was in like a sack.
Okay.
But do you see her on the stage and she's like, "Are these your moms?" So she looks at the person, she's like, "Are these your moms?"
What the?
And then in like an interview afterwards, she was like, "Yo, like I don't know how I feel about that. Like I don't
That's
want
kinda
anybody's
weird,
fucking somebody's ashes
What do
thrown
you
at
do
me."
with that if you're Pink, bro?
Throw that shit back.
Yeah, you have to, right?
Yeah, throw
Nah,
that shit back.
you sprinkle it on the stage while you.
Yo, and unless the person goes, "Yo, what do you want?" Like, and then they go, "Oh, my mom was a big fan." Then you just go, "Fuck it, here."
Sprinkle. Yeah.
And this is it, right?
I feel like I do that shit.
Yeah, I
Fuck
would
it.
do that. Yeah, I would do that too.
But it is weird.
But it's just kind of strange. Like,
Yeah.
why would you bring?
Just toss it.
Yeah, but it's like, you know what, man? When I know when my father passed, man, my like I guess my nephew, and you know this is anyway, he fucking hits me up, and he go and he wanted to take me because like the like that's how the family is like all Dallas Cowboys fans.
Okay.
And I thought about that. I was just like taking some of his ashes because we did get him cremated and sprinkling it in Dallas Stadium.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't know that I would take it and say, oh, like he's a fan of, let's say, oh, he was a big fan of Emmett Smith.
Oh, throw it.
And then you go fucking Emmett.
Catch.
Yeah. You like
Go deep.
Be like, what's this? It's my dad.
Nah, bro. Emmett will line that shit up.
You're like, no.
You got no Emmett.
Not that one. It's the white powder you do that with.
Maybe that's Irvin. I don't know which one.
That's
of them.
Irvin.
That's Irvin, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's Irvin.
Sorry, Emmett. He's probably a nice guy. Dude, people are wild, bro. I've seen this shit. Yeah, people are getting ballsier, man. I don't know where that stems from. The only thing I can think of is that social media, because of this access we have now to that, you feel, I don't want to say entitled, but you almost feel like you know people.
Yes.
And so you get a little extra ratchet. Where like before, you go to an event, it was almost like you're on your best behavior.
Right.
Because this is like this grandiose moment, and it would be like the only time you got to see, you know, Michael Jackson would be like at a show, right? Like, but then today you have this access that's never been had before. We almost like don't know what to do with that. And so this starts to feel familiar, where it feels like you're hanging with someone you know.
Right.
And you sort of forget that like you don't actually know them, man. Like,
dude, I thought about that. I was listening to like a Joe Rogan show today. He was it was one of his previous shows where he was doing is it like Al Sadiq or something like that?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about? The comedian?
The comedian. Yeah. He has the hilarious Father's Day. Ali Sadiq.
Oh, he's the one that does the father. Okay,
does the whole like Father's Day is like 20th or 17th or something.
Oh, that's him. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that clip.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so but in that he was talking about like sometimes that he meets people and some people are just like fucking like over the top, right? Like,
yeah.
And you go like I've been listening to Joe Rogan for so long that like I feel like that. You feel like you kind of know the person, and you go, "Wow, man, like, you really don't." Like if I would meet him, because I thought about it on my ride over here. I was like, "Man, if I saw Joe Rogan somewhere, like what would I say to him?" And I go, "The only thing I could say is like, yo, man, your podcast is fucking amazing, and like has had an awesome like an impact on me." Like that's all I can say to him because I don't know shit.
Yeah, you don't know.
Like I don't know him on a personal level, right? But you feel like you do when I'm listening to this guy on a weekly basis or a bi-weekly basis or however much it is. But the more that you interact with the person on social media or a podcast or watch a show or whatever, you feel like you know these folks.
Yeah, and I think that you start to, like you said, you start to almost detach yourself from
it's not real.
It's not real. You really do think because it's funny, man, you said about Joe Rogan. I would feel like that too. I'd be like, oh, we cooking up an elk later was good.
Right.
Like,
and he's like, who the fuck is
like,
this guy?
who are you? I'm like, train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night. All day. Just start yelling shit.
And then he's like looking at you like, okay.
He's like,
and
okay.
And don't fuck with Joe Rogan. He'll fuck you up.
He'll probably kill you with bare hands.
Yeah. Don't. That's not the guy to get up on.
Hell no, dude. But it has to be that, man. It has to be that we're like detaching ourselves from like this thing that we think like these people are in our lives so often, bro. And they're in our head, and they're like yeah. You're wearing earbuds. You're probably taking this in, and you start to feel like you're there and you're having a conversation with a buddy. And that's the brilliantness of like a podcast or like a good music artist or whatever. And then you just you start to detach yourself from that reality, man. It's like, yeah, it's the only thing I can think of. Cause it's like, why the fuck are people just suddenly doing this shit all the time?
Yeah.
Like, you saw even with Chappelle, where that guy bum rushed the stage, and he wasn't trying to be cool. He like was going crazy. But then I saw like Alicia Keys try to fuck around with this and had her son, like 8-year-old son, on stage standing like a security guard, which like, it's probably not a good idea.
That's not a good idea.
And I'm sure they were just doing that to be whatever. But I also
I'm
feel
sure
like
security was probably keeping a really close eye.
You saw him having to my kid. Yeah. None of y'all got jobs tomorrow. You better go to Taylor. You be like, yeah, but like, yeah, man, I it's never once occurred to me to throw or anything to an artist, man. Like,
no.
I even feel shitty. Like whenever I have seen famous people, I almost don't even like acknowledging them, especially if I'm in a crowd of there. Like just because I go, okay, they're kind of at peace right now. No one's noticing that they're. Am I gonna fuck that up?
Oh, right. So
I've had moments like that where I'll just do the head nod where I'm like,
yes,
yeah.
I did that with Chris Carter in the arena.
I think
in the Orlando arena.
Were we there? I feel like I did that.
Were you with
me?
In
a playoff game? Man, I feel
maybe, man.
I feel like I was there for that too.
Maybe because just walking, it was just like, oh shit, Chris Carter, and he just kind of like gave the head nod, like he acknowledged, and it's just like, yeah, just keep it pushing.
I feel like I have seen him before too. I wonder, or maybe I've heard your story, and I feel like I'm there. I'm detached now from reality.
That's possible. That's possible.
I feel like now I'm detached from reality. But yeah, no, I've been in those scenarios. He said I see it, and I'm like, oh shit, like, and I'll do the head nod thing and do that stuff. I think the one where I did say that shit out loud was with Mark Cuban, because that shit was wild.
Really?
Yeah, like he walked by, and I was sitting at a place outside, and he walked by, and I was like, oh fuck. And he was close enough to like where he could hear me, and I went, "Oh shit, that's Mark Cuban." He just turned around and he gave me the head nod, and I was like, but by himself, no security, no nothing, just walking down the street, man. Here in Orlando.
Yeah.
In front of a cigar spot here. We go to all the time.
Oh, shit.
Walked right by us, and then it was hilarious. Like minutes later, he was walking back, and now he's got a crowd that's like walking with him.
Okay.
And then so he was probably walking back to the hotel, but I think maybe Dallas was playing the Magic that night.
I
don't even know. But it was like one of those where like I'm watching him walk. Like I'm sitting outside, I'm watching him walk, and I'm looking. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Like you're just going, there's no fucking way. Like he's by himself. He's thing. I'm like, the guy looks a lot, and I'm like, and then the closer he gets, I'm like, there's no fucking way.
You should have been like, after he gave you the head nod, you should have been like, bro, come have a cigar.
Right, I should have.
Yeah, right.
It was one of those where you're just so scared, man. And you're just like, oh shit, my Cuban, and he just gave the head nod thing. You're like, oh, it's cool, and he, kept walking. But and Mark was Mark, man, jeans and a tee, and just walking by himself, man.
Yep.
I'm like, that was cool, man. But awesome. I'm always afraid of that shit, man.
No, let me tell you about somebody else is detached from reality. Lizzo. First of all, she thinks she's fine.
She thinks she's fine. You detach from your insulin levels is what you are.
And a walking diabetes right there.
And before you say something, we allowed to make fun of her now because turns out she's a shitty human being.
That's right.
Allegedly. I gotta say allegedly.
So Lizzo is getting sued for multiple things, but one of the things was fat shaming.
Yeah, which I thought was
fucking hilarious.
Because she purposely has fat dancers.
Yes.
And so then they're saying that she fat shames them.
And then her production company is Big Girl Big Touring. It's like, what the fuck? So is it 3 women? I think it's 3 women.
3 women, yep.
2 allege that they were pressured into like doing like nude photo shoots. One of them claimed to be like nearly like assaulted by her. There was a story about like her being in Amsterdam and then going to the red light district.
Oh, yep.
And then like I guess they were saying like the dancers are kind of pressured into if they go
like participating.
Yes. In whatever she wants to do.
Raunchy shit that she wanted to do. Which,
correct.
You know, like, hey, to each their own for her. But it looks like she pressured them into,
There was one that said that they made, so in the red light district, I guess one of the sex workers had a banana protruding from her vagina. Mm-hmm. And she made like one of the girls like eat the banana. Like from the sex worker, like eat it while it was protruding. Right.
Do you like sucking the banana out, or do you just bite it till the end?
I'm assuming you just bite the tip off and leave the rest.
And then leave the rest inside. Yep. I got more questions.
Dude, but bananas are kind of like squishy
when they get mushed,
shit, man. Yeah. I don't know, man. Depends on how wide is that.
Yeah, it's just kind of loosey goosey, bro. How many Kegels are you doing? I'm like, keep on that banana real quick. And if the banana squishes and it spits out, I'm like, all right, you can put another one in there. You're making some pasteles with this. Start mashing these bananas.
Them just last you like 3 years in the freezer.
Yo, they do. They fucking last forever, bro. You so right, bro. Pastele's shelf life is unlimited in a freezer, bro.
Well, especially after they've been in the todo.
Yeah.
That's an extra year of shelf life.
That's a new flavor, bro. Oh shit! Get that for Christmas. I want them Lizzo pasteles.
That's the thing.
Now you know what I call them tostones. Shit, we figured it out, bro. We figured it out.
God damn it, you all lied to us.
Damn it, you can see how this all came together, bro. Oh shit, man.
Oh fuck.
But dude, the funny thing is I'm always skeptical about anybody that comes out like trying to sue like, you know, an artist, because you just assume people just are making shit up. But I think what the thing that makes me sort of believe this story is the amount of people that have started coming out like in respectable positions, going like there's
against her,
against Lizzo.
Oh really?
To the point where even a lady that was hired to be the director of her documentary came out and was just like, yo, good for these girls. I was hired to do her documentary. I lasted 2 weeks and resigned. I couldn't be around it. I've never experienced such disrespect and flat out rudeness from an artist in my life.
Wow.
Like da-da-da. And then like a bunch of other people started coming out going like, I'm so glad it's finally out there. Like she was a piece of shit. Like blah, 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 blah. Like on the deal, she's fucking rude. She's arrogant. She's this and that. And then you kind of watch her demeanor, how she acts about everything. You're like, oh, that shit's believable.
Oh, yeah.
But we weren't allowed to say anything because she was fat. So we're supposed to be nice. Not anymore.
Not anymore.
It's fair game now.
Man the harpoon.
Yeah, you can't be big and mean, bro. Like pick a struggle, dog. You can't be like you got. I guess talent isn't the ultimate equalizer, bro. Because you're like, yo, if you're talented, you feel like you can get away with anything. But yeah, it's kind of fucked up. But also, man, you know, if this was a guy or Ellen, we would. We would have went in on
She's the only one.
I don't know what to call it.
RuPaul. Oh no, he is a dude.
I don't know what Ellen identifies as, so I gotta call it by name. So, but Remember when Ellen turned out that allegedly she treated all her employees like shit or whatever, right. And that shit was everywhere. And then she lost her show essentially. I mean, did it again, but then wound up like whatever.
It's over now, right?
Yeah, it's over now. And I'm sure some of that had to do with her, just going like, fuck it, I got enough money. I don't need this shit. But yeah, I wonder how.
Man. Did her because her like I guess wife.
Yeah,
she's the one that killed herself, right?
No,
did she OD
no. The one that killed herself on the show was her DJ. The guy who was a DJ on her show shortly after the show ended.
No, not. But her ex-wife, didn't she fucking like OD or fucking kill her? It was ex-wife or wife or I don't
her
know,
current wife. I know she's with her, but was it a previous? Maybe you're right. Maybe it was a previous.
It was ex-wife.
Oh,
remember?
The lady died in a car crash.
Yes.
She was on some shit and then crashed her car.
Okay.
I forget. I can't think of the lady's name, but she's an actress too.
Yes. That one.
Yeah. I know
Blondie.
Yeah. And she kind of looks like her.
Yep. Yeah. She's like,
I can't think of the lady's name. I'm sorry.
Like the female version of Ellen.
Yeah. You ain't right. It's a pleasure doing this show with you.
I had to drag you down with me, goddammit.
That's the one. We giving them all this episode. Reason number 7 why these guys shouldn't have a show. Like,
whoever the guy is on TikTok is gonna love us this week.
I gotta think of his handle so I can shout him out. Oh fuck, man.
Oh man,
dude. But it's been I'm kind of curious to see what happens to Lizzo. Like, does she get sort of blackballed in his community? Does she sort of make her way back from this? Like, does she deny it all? I am kind of curious to see what plays out here because I think she's someone who is beloved in the sense that like people tend to defend her.
Yep.
So I am curious to see how they're gonna treat this one. Like,
dude, I always say, man, like it was, and it's that it's Cat Williams, and I'm gonna get the saying that he says wrong, but he's like, don't nobody call you a crackhead for 20 or sorry, if people have been calling you a crackhead for 20 years, at some point you've been smoking crack.
Yeah.
So you go, if enough people will come out and say that you are doing these things and these disrespectful things and what have you, at some point you were doing them. Whether you're doing them now or not is irrelevant.
Yeah. Maybe she has since changed her tune and done better. But I feel like there's been enough coming out. I think with these 3, I was a little skeptical. But then what I'm seeing is a lot of people sort of like sharing the story, going like, "Thank God, somebody finally," and then like to your point, you just go, "Okay, now it's more than that." And a lot of them made it a point to say, "By the way, I'm not part of this lawsuit.
Right.
I have nothing to do with this." But I know she's a shitty person, kind of thing, and then just went off. So
Dude,
allegedly,
I would imagine, man. Like when you achieve a certain level of fame, there's got to be some sort of like invincibility effect to you that you just go, I can do whatever I want.
Oh yeah,
and maybe not everybody,
and I don't blame her, but
I get it.
I think that's a natural sort of progression based on how you're living your life or your lifestyle.
People are fucking worshiping.
People are worshiping. Yeah. No, I totally get it. It's the whole Justin Bieber thing when everybody was like,
yeah, it's like God. It's God status.
It's like, yeah, he was going ham and people were just like criticizing him. I'm like, this kid's been on top of the world since he was 15 years old and he's had everything and anything he's ever wanted. What do you expect? Like, and then now he has to grow up in that spotlight. I'm like, of course he's turned into an asshole. He's had some shitty days. Like we all did. We're just not, getting followed around by paparazzi all the time, man. I'm like, let that kid grow up. Like it was just one of those things where you're just like, what do you expect? Like a lot of us are gonna be fucked up. You put us in that scenario. So
definitely so. Bro, fight this weekend. Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence. For those of you who did not see it, Terrence Crawford defeated Errol Spence in dominant fashion.
Oh my God.
2 welterweights. 2 great welterweights, I gotta say, man.
Yeah.
Like Errol Spence, both undefeated. I did not know which way this thing was gonna go. I did not think it would go like this. Not that I didn't think that
I was leaning Spence, man, and fuck was I wrong,
bro. I didn't know who would win. I thought it would be a close matchup, and Crawford put on a clinic.
Oh my God, dude! Like you said, I was leaning as it got closer to the fight. I kept leaning towards Terrence, but I stuck with my original. Like when it was announced, I felt good about Spence. I certainly didn't feel like anyone would get knocked out. I felt like it would just be a good boxing match. It would go to this and thing. I really didn't think that it was going to just be this clinic, like you said, from Terrence Crawford, which, oh My God, man.
I think, this thing ended in the 9th round.
Yeah.
TKO.
And it could have ended sooner than that.
Probably so.
Yeah.
But what I found most surprising was that Terrence Crawford looked fresh. Like he had like his face was clear.
He looked like he could go another 9.
Yeah, it looked like he had just warmed up.
Yeah. And have you seen the videos of him talking shit to Charlo?
Oh no!
Oh my God, bro! It just shows the level of the beatdown. While the ref is counting I think the second drop.
I saw him going up on the ropes, talking shit to somebody outside.
Yeah, it was Charlo.
No!
He goes, you next.
Oh yeah!
You putting an ass whooping on this guy. The fight's not even over. This is like the second drop, and he just tells him, "Oh, you next, boy." Like basically, like what I'm doing to him, I'm gonna do to you next. I'm like, you know how in the zone you gotta be in that moment to go. I'm fucking this dude up, and I'm gonna finish him off, and then your ass is next.
And Charlo is the unanimous fucking champ.
And he's at a weight. Yes, and he's at a weight higher. No, 2 really.
Is it 2?
Crawford, yeah, because Crawford fights at 140.
47.
Okay, this fight was at 147, but isn't this his first fight at one? Oh no, second fight at 147. He beat
Sean Porter.
He dominated the 140, and then he moved up to the 147. I think you're right, it's Sean Porter, and then takes this one, and then you figure within 3 fights is like, nah, I'm gonna go up to 154, and I'm gonna take your belts too.
Well, so that's the thing. So this, because Errol Spence was the 3-belt champ, right, of 147. There's a rematch clause which he's probably going to take advantage of.
He wants it before the end of the year.
Well, no. The stipulation is that it has to be before the end of the year.
Oh, okay.
But the winner gets to decide whether it's at 147 or 154. Oh. So I did not know that at the time.
I didn't know that either.
So
man.
Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. What do you do if you're Terrence Crawford? Because Spence was moving up anyway.
Right.
Terrence Crawford was just getting started.
Right.
So if you're Terrence Crawford,
but if he's over there talking shit. And he goes like, 7 pounds, I'm good.
Fuck it, dude. But also, why do you stay at 147 if you're him? You got all the belts. First undisputed welterweight title in the history of the
And I don't think there's anyone in there. Like I'm thinking about like the Sean Porter. He already fought Sean Porter. There's the Danny Garcias. There's the
Thurman.
But
I don't even know if he boxes anymore.
Yeah, and I don't know, man.
Dude,
none of those guys beat him.
There's no one.
Ugas.
I can't even think of anyone at 154. Like
Charlo. That's it.
Yeah, but I don't even think that's competitive. Like after what I saw with the Spence, I mean, again, maybe I'm underestimating Charlo, but this was so, and maybe I have that recency bias.
Right.
It just, I think it wasn't so much that he won, it was how easy he won. I think is what I'm like. I don't know who beats him. Like when like with Canelo, like we saw him. So just in such dominant fashion where you just go, I just don't really know what he does. And he just keeps moving up in weight. Yep. And then he finally got the fight where he went up, all right, you pushed it too far. And he got outboxed. But it's not like he got his ass whooped to the sense where you just went, oh, that was embarrassing and he looks beat up. It was like, okay, that's not you're not going to hurt people at that weight.
At that weight. Yeah. Come back down.
But it was almost like there's nothing else for you to do down there either. So It was like this, he's in this weird thing where you're like, unless people come along, there's nothing for him to do. I feel like that's what Terrence Crawford's going to experience now. Like, it's going to have to be degradation of skill or, like where he sticks around too long.
Well, he's also, 35?
Yeah, so he could walk away.
So you figure he's not too far. Like, let's just say he does move up and beats Charlo. I don't know. Do you set up like a Canelo after that?
Yeah, right. Do you go, do you try to go to 160?
Yeah, and then by then, are you 37? And then you go, okay, enough.
Good. Yeah. Do you ask for a catchweight fight with Canelo for mega money? You go, this will be the fight that retires me.
Right.
And takes care of my family generationally, probably. And then just walk away. Because he strikes me too as a guy who doesn't really
care
a lot about, the spotlight thing and the fame thing. So you're like, God, man. And just, so you said, so good. He just never looked uncomfortable. He never looked he didn't even look out of position ever. Like all of his punches, he's like as if he's throwing them into a heavy bag.
Yeah.
Like he's like stepping in, he's rotating in hips and shit. And you're just like, bro, you might as well be, it looks like you're hitting a punching bag. Like it was.
And he's normally a conventional fighter, which is just like, he's normally, left foot forward. He's jabbing with the left hand, power is in the right. He fought this entire fight, which he does switch back and forth.
Yeah.
Fought this entire fight as a southpaw, and even Mike Tyson, who was very close, he was like his jab, which is with the right hand, he was like that shit was like a battering ram. So dude, I started thinking, and I'm going, what are the other fights? Like, that was a mega fight for me, even though the promotion was horrible.
Yeah.
The
talent is
the
a
talent
mega fight.
level that was a mega fight for me. I was like, man, like growing up, I was like Hearns Hagler, Tyson Holyfield, you know, and then even like which Tyson Holyfield came at Tyson's. He was sort of like at the tail end of his career, and it was after he went to jail.
Yeah, it was after.
But he was still like a menace, right? Like still a guy that boxers feared. Like when Mayweather got him, which was a fucking clinic too. But the promotion to that, remember it was Thunder versus Lightning. Remember that shit?
Yeah, dude, that was great.
And Mayweather was kind of coming up, and if you were a boxing fan at the time, Gotti was like the brawler, and you just go, this is going to be amazing, and then it turned out to be a clinic that Mayweather put on.
Dude, even Mayweather De La Hoya, which was like the Pretty Boy Floyd era still, but that ushered in the whole era of Money Mayweather.
Yes.
And it was closer, I think, than we probably like remember, but
Mayweather turned it on at the end.
Right. The second half of the fight just became the like, oh shit, like De La Hoya had good, but split decision fight. It wasn't unanimous. So I think
split decision?
I think it was a split decision fight.
Oh, wow.
I'm almost maybe I'm wrong. Look that up, guys. I think it was a split decision fight. Like, but that was another one where big names, and just became the catalyst for like I think Mayweather after that went on the tear, the went off to just dominate everybody, drop Ricky Hatton, dropped dominated Pacquiao.
You're right.
It was split, right?
It was split.
That fight was closer because I think what happened was De La Hoya won the first half of that fight.
Yep.
And then if you gave anyone towards the end, which obviously one of the judges did, it was like really close. But it was also sort of like the downfall of De La Hoya after that. Like De La Hoya sort of started coming off after that, and then Pacquiao just.
Well, you telling me that you watched some?
Oh, dude, the De La Hoya special on HBO,
Yeah.
phenomenal, man. If
Really?
you haven't seen it,
No,
so
I have
good.
not watched it yet.
So good. As a boxing fan, thoroughly enjoyed it. As a as a De La Hoya fan, I enjoyed it, but also I think the honesty as a man, the shit that he sort of went through, and sort of the demons that he fought, and then I think also to see that someone of his stature struggles with the same shit that we sort of all do.
Yep.
I think was something that was like really eye opening as well. That like De La Hoya had some of the same, I think, insecurities that a lot of guys have, had some of the same worries, some of the same maybe feelings of like maybe that imposter syndrome to an extent.
Okay.
Like a lot of that. It was just interesting to see someone that you think is like, bro, this guy's had it all for a lot of his life, you know, and just to get that honest, I think, perspective from someone like him, where it just makes you feel a little less crazy, I think.
Yep.
But yeah, man, really good. Dude.
That's cool, man. I check that out. You talking about the imposter syndrome, man? I'm reading the Will Smith book. That one, man, he has a lot of that throughout his life, where he just doesn't feel like he's as good as he actually is. Mm-hmm. And he talks about getting into the room with other talented individuals, and he always has that imposter syndrome. And so it's funny, crazy, man. Like you get these guys and women that climb to what we perceive as the top, and yet they still have these insecurities that like the rest of us have down at the lower end. You know what I mean?
Yeah, dude. It just shows you the again, a lot of the stuff doesn't matter. Like the money thing isn't the answer. The fame thing isn't the answer. And then also, man, I think a lot of things about his relationship with his parents was interesting to watch too.
Yep.
Like I didn't realize his mom had passed really early on in his life. Like, like right around the time he's winning the Olympic medal or whatever, his mom had passed. So he's like a teenager or early 20s, something like that. But just those types of things. And then he talks about sort of like regrets that he had as it related to that. But I think as a Latino, there's a lot of things that are relatable in terms of like your relationship with your family and like the conversations you never have.
Yep.
So just stuff like that where you're just like, oh wow, man, like that's the fact that stuff still haunts him, still bothers him, also kind of makes you like think twice, I think, about maybe your own life and how you should handle things. But yeah, man, really good. If you haven't seen it, it's awesome.
I'm definitely gonna check it out, bro.
Not to move too far away from Terrence Crawford.
No. Congrats to Terrence Crawford.
Fuck, man.
Don't know I'm assuming what's next for him is
the rematch, and then Charlo.
Is this Remax? and then we'll see.
Honestly, man, if you're Errol Spence, I don't even know what you do as Errol Spence anymore.
Yeah, how do you correct that? Because he was saying, oh, timing was off and whatever, and then he was kind of catching him in between. Man, like, to me, I didn't look at this fight and say, man, Errol Spence is not fighting his fight. Like, we've heard people say time and time again when Mayweather, right? Like, if you were a fan against Mayweather when he was in his prime, and he was fighting these guys, I've heard this comment so many times from people where they go, man, the guy he's not fighting, he's not fighting his fight. And they go, he can't.
You can't.
I felt like Errol was doing what he would normally do in a fight.
He just couldn't.
And he just kept getting, it was almost like in between his hard shots, this guy was not only, Crawford had amazing defense, and then it was like amazing defense, incredible vision, and picking his shots in between Errol's shots and just landing.
Dude, I think while we were watching, Spence is throwing shots and he's like looking away. He's almost hoping to land. And then they cut to like Terrence Crawford. Like you said, he's like staring down. Like you said, the vision.
Oh my God, the slow motion they was doing, man, was amazing. Bro,
and then I think the part that we kept like saying when we were watching it was, at no point in time did you feel that Terrence Crawford was affected by Spence's punches.
Yep.
Whereas after that second round, even the jabs from Crawford, you felt like could end the fight. Like, it was really weird. Like, I've never seen something like that where you're just like...
The first drop, which Errol Spence never been dropped.
No.
The first drop was on a jab.
It was on a jab. And you're just like, wait a minute. And so then after that, I think that's like the part you can't get over. You just go, every shot that Crawford throws, you feel like could end the fight.
Right.
And you went... There isn't even an accumulation of shots that you feel like could come from Spence right now that would matter.
Dude, there was the one, matter of fact, one of the times that Spence got dropped, he gets dropped right after he lands probably the best punch that he landed in the whole damn fight.
And that's got to be demoralizing as fuck. Cause you throw, and then by the way, Crawford, I don't know if you saw the interview he did with Stephen A. Smith.
No, I didn't see it.
Dude, at the end, he goes like, he didn't hit hard.
Oh yeah,
and it's so and it like when we were watching, we were going, dude, he doesn't even respect him. Like, he's staying in there,
right.
Like, and that's literally what he said. He goes like, I got caught. He's like, I think it was the first or the second round. He caught me with a looping overhand right, which I didn't remember the punch, but he said he caught me with a looping overhand right, like flush, and I was like, oh, that's it. And he goes, and after that, I was like, oh, that's it. This is it. Like, if that's what you got, like, this is going to be a long day for you, is what he said. And he was fucking right. Yeah,
bro.
man. So
dude, it's like that. Remember, when we used to watch Mayweather, and you and I are big Mayweather fans. When you would see him smile for the first time after the second or third round, and you go, oh, that's it, bro. He figured him out.
And it's over. That in the zone flow state shit is what you saw from Terrence Crawford. Was like, after that first round, after he got that drop in that second round,
yeah,
you just went, it was like, this is like different. It's like he figured something out, he turned it on. And then, he normally does that and he gets in his zone where he's just hitting dudes at will. And then he tends to knock dudes out a lot earlier though.
Yeah.
But I remember, I think in the Porter fight was the one where they told him he was losing.
Yes, that's the one.
And he's like,
what?
Nah.
He's like, oh, he's up. Are you sure?
Yeah. And then he gets up and just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah. In that fight, I know he knocks him down. He doesn't knock him out, right? They throw the towel in?
They throw the towel in, or
I think
it's towel. I think he got dropped already.
Yeah.
And then I think he drops him like 2 times in a row or 3 times in a row. And then I think Porter's dad, I think, throws in the towel. Which I thought Spence's corner was going to throw in the towel at one point in time, because you go, dude, after like the 6th or 7th, you're like, yo, you're out of this fight, man. You need a miracle punch. And I didn't see anything that would lead me to believe you're going to land one, or even if you did, that it would hurt him.
Dude, and he looked hot.
Just save him. Dude, he looked
didn't he look high?
John, man.
He looked no.
But he always has that bubble look. Yes, Spence always has that like.
And I know that, like, I know he smokes.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
I didn't know.
Okay. I know he smokes.
So I've always
I think he's of Jamaican descent.
Okay.
I believe.
I've always found him to look like not an intimidating guy, and he just looks like out of sorts, like whenever he fights, where you're just like, this guy, and then he gets in the ring and he's a fucking savage. Like, you're just like, okay.
Dude, did I just insult Jamaican people?
Probably. But I was trying to brush right past it so that they come back.
I'm sorry, I did not mean to go like, oh, he's Jamaican, he must smoke.
They are high.
But I pretty much did that, so I apologize.
Oh man. Oh, too funny, bro.
That's funny, man. Dude, Mitch McConnell. I'm sorry,
Yo.
we gotta switch gears.
Yeah, we do gotta talk about. He looks like a Muppet, by the way.
It's the two old guys in the top.
That motherfucker.
Except they could talk.
I think if you stick a hand in his ass, you might be able to get him to talk.
Dude, what is his? Mitch McConnell is what? What is he? He's a fucking Republican.
He's
majority
a Republican
leader.
majority leader, and he's
Right?
what, from Kentucky?
Let's see.
He's from one of them. No, sorry, Kentucky. No, we love y'all. Y'all got
minority leader of the United States Senate.
Okay, but he's a senator from Kentucky, right?
I don't know. Doesn't say right here.
But he has a medical episode, which appeared to me. I don't know. Do you want to like? He literally goes.
Yeah, go ahead. You describe it.
He's in the middle of a press conference and he's talking. It's a speech.
Yeah,
right?
he comes up to the mic. He begins to talk, and then it's like his mind goes blank,
and he just stops talking for like a minute, right? Like he just sits.
Well, he just sits there,
and then they start talking to him, like asking him questions.
They're asking him questions, and no
he
response.
doesn't respond. He just stares blankly in the thing.
No response, bro. And so I'm looking at this guy, and then right away it kind of like flashes me back to all of the Biden gaffes, whether it's fucking falling up the stairs or the on a I don't know, uneven platform that's actually probably even.
The rambling,
the turning around and shaking no one's hand. You know what I mean? And I go, yo, I swear to God, bro, the American people, we're all being punked. I officially do not believe that these guys are running the country.
No, bro,
they're all
people.
Fucking they're all puppets, bro.
No,
they have to be.
Right? Yeah.
This has to be a fucking joke, bro.
Dude, I mean, we talk about this show all the time. Why the fuck there isn't an age limit on this? There should be term limits as a Senator A, but also why there isn't an age limit. Like, you have a minimum, why don't you have a maximum?
Right.
It's bananas to me.
It is nuts, dude. And there is no way that guy is high up in our government, bro. There's no fucking way, bro. This has to be.
I don't know, man. Have you seen our government?
Well, I mean, look at their president. But I'm just saying, like, dude, it just
this can't be the mastermind behind.
Correct.
Like,
there has to be like
the dark state,
like people behind the shit that's just going like, yeah, put this guy up there.
Yeah, her name is Nancy Pelosi.
That's the face.
It's Nancy
but
Pelosi.
She's fucking 80 years old too,
yeah,
bro. Like these guys are all
there.
they're fucking right because Mitch McConnell is what 80.
Yeah,
I think he's 81. Let me see.
Yeah,
he's 81 years old. Biden is what 80.
80. I think 80 or 81.
Yeah,
so.
and Pelosi's got to be up there too.
She's up there too.
Right? Let's see.
Yeah. So is Hillary still running the country? Maybe.
Pelosi's 83. She's the fucking ringleader.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way, bro. I refuse to believe it. First of all, I refuse to believe it. There's got to be somebody behind all these fucking people. These people are fucking puppets. And then the second thing is, when I vote next time, I'm gonna fucking look at everybody's age.
Oh yeah, I'm just voting for the young people. I don't even give a fuck what party.
I don't even care what they are.
Yeah, I'm just voting for the young
fucking
people.
Green Party.
Yeah. I'm an ageist. Fuck these guys, bro. It should be I don't care what party you from. I don't even care what the platform is. I'm gonna be like, are you capable of breathing on your own? Can you complete your sentences?
Yo, Joe Rogan put a thing up there where it was like, it was the picture of Mitch McConnell where he fucking just goes blank, and it's like the moment where the gummy hits you.
Bro, that shit look like a glitch in the Matrix, bro. Like, you know how you watching a show on the streaming and it just fucking freezes? That's what you look like, bro.
Is this supposed to happen?
Is this supposed to happen? And you're like, I think the guy had a seizure. If like,
oh yeah,
that's so.
Did they say anything? Because I
haven't said anything, but I think watching that and having been around people who experienced that, they're like called these like absent seizures. I think that's what happened to him. Like you can see it like in his face where he just, like you said, he pauses, and so you go, if it's a stroke, you're gonna see like the distortion on his face, and he's probably gonna collapse, right? So I know people like think stroke. I'm like, I think it's a seizure, like because there's some people who have seizures And I've been around a few who like literally just space out, and they'll space out for like 30 seconds to a minute. And then if you don't know them, you don't know that they're having one. And if it's in a group of people, everybody can keep the shit going, and then that person will snap out and just keep it moving like if nothing ever happened. So I'm like, that was my first thought when I saw it. I was like, huh. I was like, that was weird.
Yeah.
Like, did he just have a seizure there? And then, but I don't know if he suffers from any seizure disorders. I don't know. Like, that's just like a total guess. But yeah, man, that shit was.
Dude,
let's get the Muppet out of there, bro.
80 plus years old.
You shouldn't be running anything.
You should not.
I don't even want you touching my stove after 60. Like, bro, think about this for a second.
Is it gas on
Yeah, think about this. If you had a gas grill in your house, there is an age limit as to who you letting help you operate that shit at the family barbecue.
That's true. Yeah.
Why the fuck do we let them run the country? We give them keys to the castle. Nah, bro. I think the new rule is if I wouldn't let you operate my grill, you're not allowed to run the country.
Dude, and I'm not saying that like because now people are living longer and stuff like and I know, you know, coherent people like in their 70s. So can we make it 75? Like there has to be a fucking cutoff point, man. And I swear to God, bro.
No, bro, I think what's the retirement age for people? I think that's what it should be.
It's 67 and a half or whatever.
If you're forcing me out at 67 from a regular job, then why
not that? Isn't that more important?
It should be. Yeah. I think that should be. And there should be term limits as a senator. That's the other problem.
And dude, you can hang around as an advisor. Like, right? You can hire you as an advisor. You can have knowledge.
Yeah. Right. Like that. I'm fine with that. But dude, the whole senators being, because that's part of the problem here, right? Is like Mitch McConnell's been a fucking senator since he was like 30.
How does he keep getting voted in? What the fuck?
He raises the most money, right? Because he's the known guy. He has the backing. Bro. I mean, it just goes to show like it's a popularity contest, right? It's like who has the biggest war chest.
Oh yeah, Mitch is cool. Leave him in there. Yeah, no, he's not, bro. He's fucking dead.
Like he's fucking tired. Yo,
I'm sorry, man. This shit got me fired up this week, bro.
Feeds the conspiracy theorists who are like, yo, the country's being run by lizard people. None of these motherfuckers are real. We with you, lizard folk. We with you, damn it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Before we jet, man, we got to talk about Pee Wee, man. Paul Rubens, bro.
Oh yeah, we have Pee Wee
Herman, man. I don't know. We talked about Kegels and tostones and shit, and we should have talked about Pee Wee, and that would have been. But he was also old, so
Pee Wee Herman
fits in here. Pee Wee Herman, man, passed this week, man. After I guess
what's his real name is
Paul Rubens.
Paul Rubens. That's
it. And he passed after I guess I had a private battle with cancer.
Oh, okay.
And I wound up dying. But Pee Wee. Okay, so
70 years old.
70 years old, which I'm like, okay, fuck that. I mean, it's young, but it's also a lot older than I thought he was, if that makes sense.
I did not think he was 70.
Yeah, I didn't think he was 70 at all. I also, man, and I wanted to have this conversation with you just because of like our age gap, was what do you think about when you think of Pee Wee Herman?
There was a show when I was like I don't know, a kid. I don't even know how old I was. And it was so first my recollection first was he had a movie, and then the movie kind of became a show, like a weekly show, maybe like a Saturday morning.
That's Pee Wee's like Great Adventure.
Great Adventure,
or
yeah. That thing. And so that is what I remember from him. But then I remember as I got older, him kind of getting into some kind of trouble.
Yeah, he got caught. Like,
what did he get caught doing?
Jerking off in the movie theater.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was like a string, but it wasn't just one thing, right? There was a couple of things.
There was a couple of things he got caught doing. Like I forgot, there was already something that he was sort of on probation for.
Okay,
I think. But the big thing was that he got caught, I think, jerking off at a movie theater in Sarasota.
Oh, Florida?
Yeah, of course. Of course, that's what you do when you come to Florida.
You jerk off at movie theaters.
So first off, bro, I only know Pee Wee as like the joke kind of perv thing. Like I don't know Pee Wee the child sort of actor. So I find it like whenever I heard of Pee Wee in the Great Adventure, and then they would do the character, or he would like do the character, I always thought it was like almost like a caricature of himself, like he was making fun of it. Like I never saw him as a kid's actor, if that makes sense, right? Like I only knew because of when that happened. I think that happened like 90 or 91. So you got to think, like, at that time, I'm like 4 or 5. I only know Pee Wee as the joke of the perv. So whenever you use the term Pee Wee Herman and you're fucking people, it's always like calling him like a pervert.
Oh, wow.
So,
Yeah. And it did become that.
Yeah.
But I do remember him prior to that.
See, and I don't have I think I don't have any thoughts of him as like this beloved child actor or whatever.
And I would not call him beloved. I mean, he had a popular movie that became a kids show. But like that was it. You know what I mean? Like and that was it.
I'm also gonna come to his defense here, bro, because I think it was bullshit that he got in trouble and that people sort of wrote him off the map for jacking off in the movie theater.
Now, what was the movie?
He was at an adult movie theater.
Oh, well, fucking A.
Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
Isn't that what you're supposed to do? Don't they hand you tissues?
Yeah, bro. What menace watches porn just to watch it?
That's the real fucking creep.
What fucking pervert creep is watching for the plot? And not. I think it's weird if you don't jerk off for the fun. Arrest that guy. What fucking psychopath is not jerking off watching porn? Like, that's the shit I want to know. Like, I'm like, yo,
I thought he was like in the fucking regular movie theater. Again,
I thought so too.
Yeah,
but when I was looking at what he did, it was in an adult movie theater in Sarasota.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Your dick out and do. I'm like, I feel like that's a given. Who's complaining at the adult movie theater that the guy's jerking off? And like, sorry, I want my guys jerking off on screen.
You know what? He was probably one of many dudes jerking off, and then it would happen to be him. And so he got blackballed for it.
Yeah, I that's the only thing I could think of, bro. Because I'm like,
and plus the fact that he did the kids show. Right?
Yeah.
Which as a society we can't fucking separate.
Right.
That this guy's a normal dude.
I mean, it's like, bro, I'm sure you got a VCR at home. Like, what's going on? Like, what happened? Maybe like that's the conversation. But you just go when they're like, oh, jerking off at an adult movie theater. I'm like, that's not supposed to happen there. Like, what?
What did you think was going on in that theater?
I'm gonna tell you right now, bro. If I walk into an adult movie theater and I look into the crowd, I'm looking for the guy who doesn't have his dick out. That guy's a serial killer.
Yep. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here.
Either whip out your dick, or get the fuck out.
Jenna Jameson is not that good of an actress. You get up, get the fuck out. I'm worried about you. That's the school shooter in the bunch. Fuck, bro. Maybe that's what school should do, bro. It's like, do you want to identify the shooter? You stick all the boys the first week of school. You stick them in a room, and then you put on porn, and then you go back in, and the one who's not has his hands down his pants, kick that motherfucker out of school immediately.
He goes to the school psychiatrist.
We're going to call that shit the Pee Wee Act. Damn it. Mitch, get the fuck out. I want your spot. We're going for the Pee Wee Act.
No, Mitch is dead.
I'm running for Mitch's seat, damn it. Vote for one.
Yo, fucking, now I did see a couple of posts from like, who was it? Late night guys.
Like
I think like Conan O'Brien.
Oh, okay.
I think one of the. Anyway, there was a couple late night guys who wrote like Twitter posts and basically like praising this dude, and they were like, "Yo, this dude was super humble, really funny, always like remembered your birthday, would send you like some crazy shit on your birthday," and they go, and everybody that knew him said the same thing. So the guy was like remembered people's birthdays and would like send out stuff.
Send cards, like Christmas cards and birthday cards and
I don't know. And so it was like they had really, really nice things to say about him, and you can tell by the post that they kind of went out of their way to do it. And I was like, oh man, you know, like that says more about a person,
dude,
than anything else, man. When you got people coming out and saying, you know, really nice things about you after you pass, I guess that's, if you pass, man, that's probably the best thing that you could hope for.
Dude, it's that whole you gotta what does your obituary look like? You know, that comes up like a lot. Like I hear a lot of people talking about that lately. It's like if you stopped and thought about, okay, what does your obituary look like? Like, would you make the same decisions in your life? Like, are you living for that like obituary kind of thing? I was like, man, you know, I know we were fucking around with him and stuff, but yeah, like you said, like I saw the same kind of posts of people coming out going like, man, sweetest guy, nicest guy, you know,
man.
You know, a lot of people, you know, comedic genius and great actor and all this and that. I think, them leaving, obviously that good mark spoke to what kind of human he was. But the part that kept sticking with me was how much of my life, of what my perception of him was, because of the sort of era I grew up in, a generation, and what had happened. It was like he never overcame that.
Yeah.
In my eyes,
the media twisted you to be to believe what you believe at that time, and then it went away, and so that was your thought forever.
Yeah, absolutely, right. Like the same media that tore him down didn't bother to sort of correct that.
Correct. Yep.
And it was just like one of those examples of like, wow, man, like you don't, like so many people, to your point, had so many good things to say about him that I'm like, oh fuck, maybe he wasn't like a shitty person. Like all you think about, oh, he was a sicko or a pervert, and then I'm reading the story and I'm like, oh, fucking jacking off in a movie theater, an adult movie theater, like okay.
I thought he was seeing like Titanic or some shit.
Yeah, man, he's at a Lion King show. Simba's dad falls off the cliff, his dick comes out.
No. Better yet, they fucking raise Simba up. Hell yeah, bango!
That's why they took him off the kid's show.
Yo, on that, tell them where they can find us.
I don't even know how I remember now. God damn it. At the Carbon Football Podcast on IG, the Carbon FP Pod on X, formerly known as Twitter, Carbon Football Podcast on Facebook, the Carbon Football Podcast on YouTube, and all your favorite streaming platforms, man. Your Spotify, your Google Podcast, your Apple Podcast, your TuneIn, your Amazon Music, Audible, all of it, man. We're on it. Go check it out. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and let us know. Keep sending us drinks, man. Shout out David for the drink on this week's episode, man.
Absolutely. And as always, we appreciate you guys, and we will see you next week.
See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.